We're going to look at equations that contain fractions. First of all, make sure that you have an equation. It needs to have an equal symbol. Second, we're going to find the least common denominator, which we'll call the LCD. Third, we're going to multiply every term on both sides by the LCD. Fourth, we're going to simplify. In this step, all our denominators should cancel. If they don't, we did something wrong. And then fifth, we will solve. Here is an equation that has fractions. We're going to first find the common denominator. If we check, all of these denominators will divide evenly into 12. So we can use 12 for the common denominator. We're going to multiply every term on both sides by a 12. Notice we're not getting it underneath like an add or subtract problem. We're multiplying by it on the top. Then we're going to simplify each part. This is really a 12 over 1, and our 3 will cancel. 3 will go into 3 one time, and 3 will go into 12 4 times. Now we have 4 times 2 is 8 over 1. We don't need a 1 in the denominator. Then we'll simplify the next step, and that's also 12 over 1. 4 will go into 4 one time, and into 12 it will go 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3. And this one, our 12s will cancel. Then we will solve. Our x is already isolated, so we just need to simplify on the left-hand side. 8 minus 3 gives us 5 equals x. Here's another equation that has at least one fraction. We would like to clear the fractions. So first we find the common denominator. For this problem, it will be 8. So we will multiply all the way across by the 8. And you also have to do on this side, even though it's not a half fraction, it has to be every term for it to be okay. Then we'll simplify each step. Remember, this was an 8 over 1, and your 8s will divide out to leave us just y. For this next group, 4 will go into 4 once and into 8 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. And here 8 times 2 is 16. Now we'll solve. We'll go on the side with the y, and we want to take off the 6. It's added, so we need to take it away. From both sides. And y is isolated. Here's another example of an equation that has fractions. Our first job is to find the common denominator for 5 and 3, which would be 15. We're going to multiply every term on both sides by a 15. Then we're going to clean up. 5 will go into 5 one time, and 5 into 15 will go 3 times. Which will give us 3 times x is 3x. Then we'll do the next group. There's no denominators there, so we'll just multiply. 15 times 2 is 30. The third group, we can simplify with a 3. 3 will go into 3 one time, and into 15 it will go 5 times. And 5 times the x is 5x. And the last group, no denominators, so we'll just multiply. 15 times 4 is 60. Now we're going to solve. We have an x term on both sides, so we should get rid of one of the x terms. We could either get rid of the 3x or the 5x. I'm going to choose to get rid of the 5x. So I will need to subtract 5x from both sides. So I'm subtracting the 5x from both sides. This one will cancel. That was our plan. And these will combine. That will give us a negative 2x minus 30 equals negative 60. Now we have a standard two-step equation. Work on the side with the x and take off anything added or subtracted. So we're going to take off the negative 30. So we will add 30 on both sides to make this one cancel. And on the left, our minus 30 cancels to leave us negative 2x. On the right-hand side, watch your signs. You have different signs, so subtract sign of the larger. And now go back on the side with x, and we're going to divide out our negative 2. So leave us x equals a positive 15. Here's another equation with fractions. So we're going to find the common denominator. This time we're going to have to go higher than 10. So how about 20? So we'll multiply every term on both sides by a 20. And then we'll clean up. The first one, 4 will go into 4 one time, and into 20 it will go 5 times. So we have 5 times 5 is 25y. Then our equals. And the next part, 2 will go into 2 one time, and into 20 it will go 10. 10 times 1 is 10. And the third part, 10 will go into 10 one time, and into 20 it will go 2 times. 2 times 7 is 14. Next, we will need to clean up on the right-hand side. 10 minus 14 will give us a negative 4. And then to solve, we're going to have to divide out the 25. This time we are going to get a fraction for an answer. It's okay to get a fraction for an answer. We just didn't want to keep fractions while we were working.